Hello everybody, this is Collector Dad again, coming back to you with my second video, and it's kind of a follow-up because as you saw in my first video, I did the 1/6 scale Jax Taylor from Sons of Anarchy, made by PCS, and this here is only the second and only Sons of Anarchy action figure that they made. They only made Jax Teller and they made Morrow, and that was it. They didn't continue the line, which I wish that they did, because both of these figures are outstanding. They're very accurate to the show itself, and being a diehard Sons of Anarchy fan, I would have liked to have seen them make at least a few more characters. You know, like the obvious ones like Chibs, Tig, Gemma. That would have been really cool if they at least made like those core characters, but didn't happen. But you know what, I digress. But this right here is Morrow. As you can see, this guy, just like Jax Teller, pretty flawless. The vest looks amazing, incredibly accurate to the show. Tattoos are where they're supposed to be from the show. The sculpting on the head sculpt is sensational. Let me take the glasses off so you can get a better look at how he looks. That looks very much like Ron Perlman, and I grew up watching Ron Perlman in many films, shows, and this was by far the best thing he ever did. It was pretty incredible. Now, as you can see right here, just like Jax Teller, the figure has pretty good articulation. You're able to do many dynamic poses. This right here is a pretty standard but iconic pose that he does from the show itself. We see this character do this many times, and just having him looking at me at the camera, it's pretty badass. I can't even lie. And anybody who has seen this show would agree with me that this looks, it literally looks like you're watching the show in still frame. It's really cool. That's how realistic this guy is. That's how lifelike he looks. The accessories, like I said, even down to the pistol itself. I mean, like, look at the details on that. I mean, I'm not even sure exactly what kind of pistol that is. That could be a it could be a 1911 9mm, but I'm not exactly sure, so I don't want to be wrong. 45, yeah, 1911 45. Not sure, but let me give you guys a closer look at this guy. I mean, look at that head sculpt. Look at this. Patches. President's patch. Unreal. I mean, look at this. You can have him facing forward, turn him to the side, have him looking like that. That's even another great looking pose. I'm just looking at it and I'm just amazed. I mean, this looks so good. This guy just looks amazing. I mean, I can't get enough. I look at these guys on my shelf side by side, and it just takes me back to so many episodes that I've seen, and even my favorite moments of the show, and it just really makes me feel good. This is one of my favorite parts about collecting, is to collect figures like these from my favorite show. Like I said, I'm a kind of collector that I prefer to collect figures from movies and shows that are my favorites and that I like a lot. And when I get figures like this and I come in and just look at them at the shelf, I always have good feelings because it either brings back a good memory, favorite moment from the show. You know, it's just so cool to collect figures like this and be able to relive so many different moments like this. I mean, look at this. You can even have him posing with his back facing you. And I mean, generally most times collectors wouldn't do this, have the crotch holder backwards like this, because you really wouldn't want to see the entire crotch holder like that. But when you do it like this, and depending on what's on the shelf around him, you know what? It can work because in this pose, you get to see him, you know, in the same menacing pose, very threatening, but from this angle, and you get to see the Sons of Anarchy logo and patches, and I just think that that's awesome. It's just a lot of fun to me. And as you can see here, just like Jax Taylor, you know, I want to show you guys that these figures are able to stand on their own without the use of the crotch grabbers. You know, the crotch grabbers definitely make them more stable, and in my opinion, that is my preference on how to put these guys on display, because God forbid I don't want like vibrations or anything to have them start to lean forward or back over time, and then eventually they tip over, because trust me, it has happened to me. So I always recommend to people who I talk to, use the crotch grabber, use a display stand if you have it, because that's what it's meant for. It's meant to protect your figures from falling, because a lot of times when these figures fall, even though a lot of these figures are generally well made, but if they fall from a depth that's not ideal, they will break. You know, the last thing you want is to have one of the accessories break, like say his sunglasses, maybe a piece of the pistol comes out, you know. You never know what can happen. Or maybe, God forbid, he falls and lands on his hand, and the joint, the wrist joint, you know, it breaks, the ball peg, it breaks. You know, unfortunately, things do happen like that. Thankfully, those things have not yet happened to me, because I'm very careful and meticulous on how I display my figures, but that doesn't mean it cannot happen. Okay guys, before I close out this video, just like I did with my first video with Jax Taylor, I'm going to share a random fact that I found out about this show and this character, Morrow specifically, a very long time ago. And this one, you know, I wanted to do something that was kind of more on the common knowledge side than try to go into a deep dive. So this one is pretty known. But just in case there are some of you that don't know this, I would like to share it. When they filmed the pilot episode, and just in case there are those who don't know what that means, pilot episode means the very first episode of the very first season they ever did. They filmed the entire episode with a different actor playing Morrow. The actor who was originally cast to play Morrow was the actor Scott Glenn. Now don't get me wrong, I am quite a big fan of Scott Glenn as well. I've seen a lot of his movies. He is a pretty cool actor as well. But let me say, but with a lot of bias, that I am so grateful that they replaced him with Ron Perlman. Because as good of an actor as Scott Glenn is, and he's got great range, but I just don't think he could have pulled off this character the same way that Ron Perlman did. Ron Perlman brought a edge and just this really cool, kind of suave sometimes, but just a brute force, hardcore motorcycle club president, you know, should be. There you go. That is my random fact that some of you may and some of you may not have known. So let me know below in the comment section if you did know that, and if you didn't know that, let me know what you think about that. Would you guys have liked to have seen Scott Glenn continue as Morrow, or are you also happy that they went with Ron Perlman? You know, I think they made the right choice, but you know what they say, we'll never know. And one more thing I wanted to do, I thought it would be cool and fun to have these guys standing side by side so you can see the size comparison and just how incredibly cool these two look next to each other. I mean, wow. Can you, I mean, you just look at this. If you walk into anybody's room, their collection, even if you go to a convention and they had these two figures standing like this, side by side, even if you're someone who has never seen Sons of Anarchy, you're going to immediately be drawn to these guys because these two have a presence, especially when they're side by side. They look like definitely the type of dudes you just want to avoid having any kind of trouble with. They look like they're ready for battle. They look like they're ready to cause some mischief. And I'm sorry, these guys are just cool. I'm sorry. Like anybody who's seen the show, at one point or another, you wanted to be Jax Teller, or even you wanted to be Clay Morrow. Like these two guys are cool in their own right. They're definitely not the same. They are very different on how they conduct themselves and how they go about their business. But don't get me wrong, these two together are quite a lethal combination. So in closing, I just want to say I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys want to see more videos like this, or like I said in the first video, if there is a particular movie character that you think I may have, or you're curious if I have, and you would like to see me show him or her in the light box, please feel free to let me know in the comment section below. Of course, please like the video, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you're always notified when I release new videos. Being that I am still new to YouTube, I am trying to release a minimum of 3 videos a week, trying to make it 4, but I'm going to start off with 3, see how that goes, and if you guys like enough of what you see from me and you make some pretty cool suggestions and I'm down for it, and I'm pretty sure I am. I can't imagine anyone make a suggestion that I wouldn't want to try. If it's something you guys want to see, I'm going to do it on my channel because I definitely want to keep you guys entertained, you know, and happy. So feel free to let me know what you want to see. Oh, you know what? Even better, in the comment section, let me know. Should my next video be another 1/6 scale figure? Or would you like me to dive into my extensive 1/12 scale figures? Because I definitely have a bigger collection when it comes to 1/12 scale as opposed to 1/6 scale. So I have, like I said, I have Marvel Legends, I have Mezco 1/12, Mafex. I used to have SH Figuarts, but not so much anymore because even though they have great articulation, but they're very small compared to like Marvel Legends and Mafex. They just scale a lot smaller than the typical 6-inch figures. So I kind of shy away from the SH Figuarts. But like I said, let me know in the comment section, should I make another video with 1/6 scale figure? Or would you like to see me do my first 1/12 scale video? Well, okay guys, thank you for watching. Again, please like and subscribe. Comment below what you think. Let your friends know, let your families know that Collector Dad is here. You know, just sharing my collection, having a good time with fellow collectors or even new collectors who are just trying to get into it. You know, and they just want some advice. You know, feel free to ask me questions below because guess what? A year and a half ago, when I was just starting my collection, I knew very little. And it's amazing when you reach out and you talk to fellow collectors, how much you'll learn in a short amount of time if you really want to learn. Alright guys, take care of yourselves, like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.